Velcro to your head. I'm like, what? How do people accept this? What's up guys, I'm Deirdre and welcome back to my channel. Today I have 3 new Kaja bento boxes to play with. I just got them yesterday. So we're gonna swatch them, we're gonna put them on, and we're gonna get this look. So if that sounds good, please stick around and let's get into it. I'm just gonna prep my lips with the Laneige lip treatment balm. It has this cute little spatula here, which you can use to apply. And you can see the inside is like super pearlescent. I've been loving that Laneige for a lip prep step, and it also has peptides in it, which is something that I've been looking for in all my lip products lately, so that's a bonus. Kaja, if you don't know, is a K-beauty brand, and they came to Sephora in 2018, and they are still the only K-beauty brand in Sephora. Their whole line really encourages just playfulness, which is why I come to my makeup, just to play and experiment. Take a look to see which one we're gonna play with today. So this color is called Forest Night. And I think this is the one that we're gonna play with today, but I do wanna just show you the other ones. So this is the other new release from them. It's called Coral Sunrise. Super pretty summer tones. And then the last one I wanna show you is called Mauve Bouquet. And this is the one that I wore yesterday. I'm gonna go in with my Dior Forever Matte. It's been a minute since I used this, but it used to be the one that I reached for the most, so I'm excited to dip back in. I wear the shade 2N. Just going to use a foundation brush to blend that in. I do avoid the under eye area. I reserve that exclusively for my concealer, since it is a very finicky area, especially as I get older. Really have to be cautious about how much I apply, as well as the techniques I use to apply under the eye. I do like to build it up just right here, because that's where I have my passenger princess mark, is what I call it. But it's my biggest sunspot on my face. But I am currently trying to diminish it with my vitamin C serum. I've never really been consistent with my vitamin C serum except recently, and I'm really excited about the results that I'm seeing. That is looking really nice. You can see up close. It's a pretty good match for me too. What I did yesterday was use my Huda Beauty concealer, which is not typically my favorite because it does tend to crease on me, but I'm wondering if my skin prep from yesterday is actually what made it not crease. I am pretty minimal with the product. I am going to blend that in. I just kind of brush what's left of that over the eye to create just a seamless transition, so you can see like how flawless this eye looks compared to this one. I actually have quite a bit of darkness under my eye. You can see there, like especially in the inner corner. This concealer really does have a great amount of coverage. I do prefer something that's more fuller coverage to fully remove that darkness. Experiment time. Okay, sprayed a brush with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and I'm just going to lay that down. I gave that a minute to dry. Now I'm just gonna go in with the same amount of concealer, really not overdoing it, and then using my Rare Beauty concealer brush to just blend that out over the setting spray. This was a hack that I saw on TikTok. Concealers and concealer techniques are one of my favorite things to test out. Anything that I see that can prolong the wear and decrease fine lines and wrinkles under the eye is definitely something that I love to test out. I'm not seeing any difference between the two eyes, so it will be interesting to see as the day goes on what looks better. I'm going crazy looking at my brows, so let's go ahead and fill in the brows. Okay, my face is feeling like it just needs a little bit of refreshment. Spritz my face with one of my favorite face mists. This is the one from Nia, the Disaccharide Mist. So I'm using the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in Light Medium by Makeup by Mario. It is just so effortless. It feels like you just can't mess it up. I'm going to try this blush, which I've never tried before. I've only swatched it. It's the Tower 28 Beach Please in Office Hours. I've heard that this is super pigmented, so I'm gonna go in with just an e.l.f. brush. And it actually pulls a bit red. I like to apply my blush just like in a straight downward motion to really plump up kind of the top of the cheekbone. I'm going to set the rest of my face with this Lancome Long Time No Shine setting powder. And I'm just gonna go over the under eyes as well as just lightly over the rest of the face to reduce shine and really lock in my makeup. I have been loving this RMS Beauty French Rosé blush. It's the Hydra Powder blush, and it just looks so beautiful. I've been using it as like a blush lighter, and I just go on the high points of the cheek, and there's so much dimension to this blush that it just gives this beautiful, like, ethereal glow to the cheek and just makes me feel plump and angelic. Laid down the border to my look, and now I am going to go right in with the darkest color. It is a cooler brown, and go into the outer third of the eye. It is super blendable and easy to work with, so I do want to build this up quite a bit because I want to go for a more glam look. So there we have it, the outer third of the eye, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side. Now I'm gonna go in with this Angie Hot and Flashy shimmer brush, and I'm gonna go into the middle color, and I am going to just lay that in the middle of the lid. This top color, I'm hesitant to use any brush because I really feel like you need to use your finger to kind of warm it up. It has like that gritty feel and feels a kind of sticky, I guess. And when you first swatch it, it comes out more chunky, but then if you actually work it in, it breaks up the particles and it becomes more fine, which is interesting because I don't want to be rubbing that hard on my face. So I think I'll just work it into the back of my hand before going in on my eye. Place it on the inner third of the eye. I did get a bit of fallout, so I'm going to finish off the eye with just a little bit of tight lining the upper eyelid. I'm using the Make Waves mascara by Tower 28. You guys, this morning I tried rollers in my hair for the first time. Well, for the first time in like years. And I had a little mini panic attack because it's basically like Velcro, except one side is the roller and one side is your hair. So when you're taking it out, it's like, am I gonna lose half of my strands to this roller? You literally have to rip them out as if you're pulling Velcro. I also don't think it did anything. I don't know if rollers are for me, at least those like non-clip ones. Maybe if they clipped, then they wouldn't actually Velcro to your head. I'm like, what? How do people accept this? That bottom shade in the Kaja, tap the top in there, just going right in with it under the lash line. Sometimes I skip the lower lash line altogether. It's not like a necessity for me. I feel like an eye look is complete without this, but depending on the look I'm going for. What's up, guys? It's the next day. I used today as the day that I tested out the last bento box that I hadn't tried on my eyes yet, the Coral Sunrise one. Coming back at you now after having some thoughts about it, and overall, I just can't recommend these bentos. Mostly because of the amount of glitter in them. The super glittery look is not something that I'm into, so maybe if that's more your thing, then you might really enjoy these, but I do have some call outs that I think are important. The first one is that the top shade is really chunky. It has a sticky, tacky consistency, and when you first swatch it, it is absolutely uneven. You have to take some time to actually work that product into the skin before those chunks dissolve. At that point, the shadow really is just glitter. There is no underlying color. It's hard to work with. I don't want to be rubbing that hard on my eyes. The way I made it work was to rub it on the back of my hand and then apply it with my finger to my eyelid. But even then, I'm just not somebody who likes a ton of glitter on my eyes. So moving from the first shade to the second shade, I would say that these also have a fair amount of glitter. There is an underlying color in this shade, so I would say about 50% is underlying color and the other 50% is still that glitter. The second shade is a different consistency than the top shade. It doesn't have that tacky, sticky consistency. It's more enjoyable to both swatch the second color as well as apply it to the eyelid. And I could potentially see that one of these middle shadows would make a really pretty one and done shadow look. Moving on to the third shade. This is the most powdery of the bunch, so each shade does have a bit of a different consistency. And the bottom shade, although it is the most opaque, it does still have glitter. Just having glitter in every single shade is really not something that I'm into. So overall, the bentos were a bit disappointing. I think of the three, I do like the one that you saw me try on camera, the Forest Night one, the best. I really like the concept of these bentos. They're super convenient and compact, but because of the content of glitter, I really can't recommend them, especially at full price. Alright guys, so unfortunately not a win for me today, but maybe you learned something in this video that will save you some money, and if so, I would love it if you would consider dropping a like or a comment below. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.